As chairman of the department, I think one of the major challenges, perhaps the major one, was that can you, at a predominantly black university, have any impact on a national, international scene? Because some people told me that I was wasting my time. Some friends, and they were close enough to me to tell me that. In other words, they were not out of line. They were close enough to say, why are you wasting your time going back to Howard? See, they can't support you. You've had this training at Sloan Kettering. You've had a wonderful experience in the Army. But I have to say this. I owe Howard a debt that I can never fully repay. I can only make installments. Can never fully repay. Because had it not been for the Howard University College of Medicine, there's a great and distinct possibility that I would not be a physician today. So anything that I can do, I want to do. But to get back to your question, so I had to try to become involved in national, international groups and societies to let people know that when I spoke, I was not talking about black cancer, black intestinal obstruction. We were talking about surgical principles that involve everyone. And I think that was the big challenge, so being at a predominantly black university and having an impact nationally because of the place from which you come. You can't do it. And I wanted to show that you could do it. But I have to add this. I've had a lot of help from both black and white colleagues, a lot of help. And to get to rise on the national and international scene, it's been more white than black colleagues, but there were more white colleagues there. And I have to emphasize that because I don't care what kind of ability you have. If that door never opens, nobody can ever see what you're worth, what you're made of. I felt that it was on the road to becoming what it should be. I had been very active with the American Cancer Society. I'd been very active with the American College of Surgeons. I had been secretary. I was not president then. I became the Charles Drew Professor in 1992, became president of the college in 1995. But I felt we were on the way. And there were several people in our department, like Dr. Clive Callender, for example, the current chairman, was a leader in transplant surgery, and particularly as it affects minorities. So we were being involved, our department, Dr. Charles Epps in orthopedics. And you like to see this because that means that your department was on the move and that you were getting there. You're not where you want to be, but you're getting there. And someone said, someone told me once, if you achieve everything that you want to achieve, you haven't aimed high enough. Because you're never supposed to achieve everything you want to achieve, but you ought to be on the road there.
It must trouble you, some of the recent struggles about accreditation and whatever Howard University Hospital has been going through.
It does, but let me just say this. Some people have asked me about accreditation for the medical school. I said, no, the medical school is fully accredited. What has been in the papers has been some programs were not accredited. Now, we want them to be accredited too, so I'm not happy about that, but I like to emphasize to them the medical school has full 7-year accreditation, but some of the training programs are not accredited. I say with great pride that since the General Surgical Residency Program was begun in 1936, it has been fully accredited the entire time. It has never been on probation. Now, when you say that, you're supposed to knock on wood because that can happen. But we believe if you work hard, if you strive hard, you can maintain an accredited program. And it's important that we do that. Think about the young men and women whose lives would be affected adversely if these programs were not accredited. So we want to be sure they are. And it does. I'm happy to say that the president of our university has given full support to the people in the hospital to get full accreditation for the programs in the hospital that are not now accredited. And I'm speaking of President Patrick Swigert. I am just so much in favor of what he has done. I'm a great admirer of him because of the superb leadership that he has shown for the entire university. And our Howard University Hospital and Medical Center is no exception. He's done it overall. And I see us now like I saw us when Dr. Mordecai Johnson was the president. You thought that Howard was on the move. I believe that now the university is on the move. And it's primarily because of leadership. It's leadership from President Swigert. Well, I reject the idea that because it was better then, it should remain that way. I understand all the points they've made, the great faculty members that were at Howard, because they couldn't go anywhere else. But we must compete in the global world, in the big world, the world that includes everybody. That means that we have to meet the challenges that are there. And so therefore, I'm in favor of meeting that competition. And I've had some offers, some definite, some indefinite, some just probes about coming here or there. Some were specific. I've never left Howard. Now at this stage of my life, I will never leave Howard. But I'm sure that one of the reasons I've never left is what I had mentioned before. I owe a tremendous debt to Howard University. A tremendous debt that can never be fully repaid. I don't care what I do. In my judgment, I can never fully repay Howard University for what it's done for me. Because it took a chance with me that allowed me to become a member of a profession that I truly love. And had it not been for the Howard University College of Medicine, wouldn't be a physician. So whatever I can do, and whatever time I have left, I want to do to try to make Howard an even greater and even better university, even better medical center, by what I do with medical students, residents, and taking care of patients.